There are tons of questions surrounding the 2024 NBA Draft, and that's because there's no clear-cut favorite on who is going to be the number one pick. But one name that has been consistently mentioned as one of the top picks, or maybe the guy who will go number one, is Alex Sarr. He's a 19-year-old big man from France who just wrapped up a season playing in Australia's NBL, or National Basketball League. That is one of the top overseas leagues out there. And some scouts think that Alex Sarr could be the real deal. Welcome everybody, my name is Troy and this is the Half Court Report. Be sure you click that thumbs up button and subscribe for some of the best NBA content that you're going to find on YouTube. And if you like NBA draft content, then this is the place for you because I'm going to be doing a ton of draft videos leading up to the draft in June. So I was reading an article about Alex Sarr from Isaac Condra over at Sports Illustrated. I'm going to go through that piece and give you some of my thoughts on it too, because Alex Sarr has been getting a lot of buzz. So the Perth Wildcats, which was the team that he was playing on most recently in Australia, but Alex Sarr finished the season averaging 9.6 points, 4.6 rebounds, just over an assist, a block and a half, and about half a steal a game. He shot over 50% from the field, about 28% from three, and just over 70% from the free throw line. But those numbers don't tell the whole story because he only averaged 18 minutes a game. He wasn't a starter, he came off the bench behind a pretty good center that the Wildcats have, but he was a big contributor to this team. So in the NBL playoffs, he averaged 7.7 points, 3.3 rebounds, and just under 3 blocks per game. His stats obviously don't stand out compared to what you would normally see with a projected top pick. So why is he getting so much attention? Well, that is a great question, and I am glad you asked. For starters, professional leagues like the NBL tend to value experience over young players, so that played a big factor in Alex Sarr being the sixth man for the Perth Wildcats. He also didn't get a ton of on-ball opportunities and played a very limited role on the offensive end, which led to him not putting up a lot of high-scoring games. But it's the eye test and how he looked when he matched up against players his own age that has people talking. Because if Sarr had played in college, there's a pretty big chance he would have been the consensus number one overall pick, especially if he'd gone to a college program where he was able to showcase his full offensive package. I think Sarr is the second best defensive prospect in the 2024 NBA Draft after Virginia's Ryan Dunn. Sarr's rim protection is elite and he provides great mobility, length with a 7'5" wingspan, defensive instincts, and great anticipation. At 1.6 blocks, he was second in the NBL in blocks per game, even though he was playing under 20 minutes on average. And despite his skinny frame, he's about 220 pounds, he can still compete against bigger players. And what makes Sarr unique is that he can defend out in space and effectively switch ball screens when needed. So he does bring a lot of defensive versatility. Offensively, he has shown flashes as a passer, pull-up shooter, and spot-up shooter. He doesn't excel so much as a creator or a scorer, but that has really never been his game so far. But at 7'1", he has the potential to be a great second scoring option for an NBA contender when he's in his prime. As of right now, though, he's at his best as a finisher. He has a great touch inside the paint, he's very athletic, and he's a great lob threat at all times. Sam Vecini over at The Athletic has Sarr going number 2 to the Washington Wizards in his latest mock draft. He says about Alex Sarr, Sarr emerged early in this draft cycle as a legit potential number 1 pick, starting with his performance against the G League Ignite in early September. Scouts came away believing he was the best prospect on the court. Remember, the Ignite has players like Ron Holland and Modest Buzelis as well, who are likely to go top 10. Sarr is a difference maker on defense. He covers an immense amount of ground with his arms. He has quick feet. He's similar to big men like Jaren Jackson Jr., Evan Mobley, and Nick Claxton. Alex Sarr flies around, rotating off the ball, and he can handle himself in a variety of ball screen coverages, ranging from switching to drop coverages. if he's waiting at the rim and opponents dare to challenge him, odds are he's going to get to the shot and contest it, if not outright block it. The offensive end, though, is the question, because Sarr has shown potential as a rim runner and ball screens, but for the most part, his game involves pick and pops, and he doesn't make great screen contact. He's not a high-impact defensive rebounder, and that has led to some questioning if he can consistently play the center spot in the NBA, or would he require a more physical center alongside him and let him play the 4 spot. And it would be even better if that physical center would be able to space the floor, since he's not much of a three-point shooter as of right now. Sarr has also shown flashes as a ball handler and some touch as a shooter, so all in all, there is enough upside in his set of skills to make him a legit difference maker. It will just take him a lot of time to round out. So as I mentioned, Vicini has Sarr going to the Wizards, and I think that would be a really good landing spot for him. They already have Bilal Coulibaly, who they drafted in 2023, so let's just add to the French connection by getting Alex Sarr too. They also have Marvin Bagley and Rashawn Holmes at that 5 spot right now. I don't see either of those players as long-term fits. Plus, Washington, they are last in the league defensively, so adding a defensive presence like Alex Sarr could be a game changer in a few years. Another option is the Spurs. They have a pretty bad record. They may end up getting that top pick. But with Wembanyama there, I just don't really think that Alex Sarr would be the best option for them. I think the San Antonio Spurs would be better off getting a point guard in this draft, or getting one in free agency or via trade. I know that Trae Young's name has been out there a lot. The Charlotte Hornets are another team that look like they'll be getting a top pick, but with Mark Williams and Nick Richards already there in the front court, I think Alex Sarr would have to play the 4 spot for Charlotte, so where does that leave somebody like Miles Bridges? Again, the Hornets probably not the best fit for Sarr. Then you have the Blazers. They have DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams III at that center spot. They have Jeremy Grant at the 4. And I know that Robert Williams III is always injured. Jeremy Grant might not be the best player for a rebuilding Blazers team, and DeAndre Ayton, he has his own set of issues. And it looks like the Blazers have their point guard of the future in Scoot Henderson. Shaedon Sharpe looks like he's a really nice player. So you have that backcourt set. Maybe it would be good to add to the front court, but the Blazers, they just need a whole lot. And then finally, the Memphis Grizzlies, they are in desperate need of somebody to man that 5 spot since trading Steven Adams to the Houston Rockets earlier this season. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a huge defensive menace, but I think he is better suited for that 4 spot on a game-to-game basis. But again, the Grizzlies, even though they have a bad record this year because of all their injuries, they are a team that is contending. So I don't know if they would need a young player like Alex Sarr who still needs lots of seasoning. I could see them trading this pick for a veteran player. Guys, that's what I think, but let me know in the comments, what do you think of Alex Sarr? Do you want him on your team? Where would you pick him in the draft? Drop it down below. Since you've watched this far, be sure to drop a like for the YouTube algorithm and hit that subscribe button too so you never miss another draft video from me. Another potential NBA big man that I've been tracking is Hansen Yang. Now, he is not officially declared for the 2024 NBA draft, but this guy has shades of Nikola Jokic, and he has been destroying the Chinese Basketball Association with his rebounding, his passing, and his defense. I did a whole video on this guy. I need you to check it out. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you next time on the Half Court Report. Have a great day.